And sometimes instead of conveying our meaning, they can suggest other meanings.
When we talk about the children of the community, they are children of the community.
Well, we are the United States of America because we are united. And we are states.
Talking about the significance of the passage of time, right? The significance of the passage of time. So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time.
Whatever we have in store cannot be known. The past was once the future. The future is, I should say, unknown.
We gotta take this stuff seriously as you are, because you have been forced to have to take it seriously.
Obesity is a serious disease, and it needs to be taken seriously.
You need to get to go and need to be able to get where you need to go to do the work and get home.
I hope that clarifies the issue, and this can be the last word on those words.
Certain issues are just settled.
Clearly we're not.
No, that's right, and that's why I do believe that we are living, sadly, in real unsettled times.
Howdy, folks. Dave Man here again, Rollman Revolution. You saw that intro. What in the hell is America voting for anymore? Where it's going to come down to for a lot of people, and I think a lot of people who are so gung-ho right now for Kamala Harris, they're going to realize exactly the person they are voting for in the debate. Because, look, there's certain things you understand about people, and you're going to understand this too. You have people in your own workplace who are exactly like her. They pretend to be something that they're not. And when they try to do that, they just fail. It's a total cringe hour. I don't know if she herself realizes exactly how bad she is at public relations. I mean, you couldn't find anybody more uncomfortable in her own skin than Kamala Harris. And that's because her entire life she has been using labels to get to where she is. See, when you're a person who gets to a place on the merits alone, meaning that your deeds, the things that you do in the job that you're operating or in the community that you're involved with, when your deeds are noticed by the community or by the people at large, they can point to those things and say, look, this person is more than qualified. Why? Because they've done this, this, and this. Or you've seen them doing these other things at that location, and guess what? You saw them completing this task and this task and this task and this task. In Kamala Harris's case, yeah, she may have gotten to the positions of Attorney General or whatever through her career, a senator of California. But what I'm trying to get people to understand is how. What did she do in order to get there? What made her qualified for the job that she is applying for? For instance, like if you're going to be a doctor, right, or a surgeon, let's go even deeper, a surgeon for that matter, okay? Do you want the surgeon that thinks they're good at it, or do you want the surgeon that's actually done a shit ton of surgeries on that specific organ or whatever it is their specialty is before they get to you? You don't want to be the first person on the operating table with the gumshoe that just got out of college, okay, running the operation. No, you want somebody with experience who has done the deeds over time and can show and prove those deeds to say that I am qualified to make this position or go and do this job. Now, you just listen to the opening. That is the way she speaks to crowds on the regular basis. She doesn't know which accent to use, how to put the twang in her voice, like what she did with the union members. Everything about Kamala Harris, and this is not a punt on her, this is not a kick to the face, but this is a reality check. We need to start living in reality. You know, you've heard me several times on this channel talk about critical thinking and deductive reasoning. You can deduce, even in your own communities of people, your own groups of friends, who the idiots are. I know you can, because you point out idiots all the time. Look, I work in the working world right now with a bunch of people that are under the age of 25. So I get to hear what the young people are talking about on a regular basis, what they're looking at, all that good stuff. Okay? And they call out nonsense in their own groups all the time. So I know you know what an idiot looks like. And you're going to sit here and tell me that listening, and again, you have to listen to the things she says. You have to watch or look at the things she's actually done. Did you ever ask yourself, I know I sidestepped a minute here, but did you ever ask yourself, how did Kamala Harris get to where she is? Look at the relationships that she had over her career. If you were a detective and you were going to try to figure out, who would be the best person or best qualified person for the job, and you knew that both of those people were up front in your face lying to you, how would you determine whether or not one person is telling the truth or maybe just embellishing a little bit, and then who are the full-blown liars? How can you tell the difference? Well, the only way to tell is to dig deep. You have to investigate. You got to do your due diligence and try to figure out really what's kind of going on there. Look, I speak to people on the beach where I live on the regular. I do random pollings to try to figure out kind of where the mind of the American people are, because where I live, it's a good network for people coming all over the United States to come on vacation. So you get a variety and a fairly decent sample. I am blown away by some of the things, and this is not all, because the young voters are starting to realize the reality out there. They're starting to realize the bullshit being presented to them. But I am quite surprised at times some of the things that come out of the young person's mouth. Because the only way you would have heard these things is if somebody amongst your group or a follower or somebody that you follow online said that. Because some of the things are just so scripted. It's like, I know you didn't think of that yourself, because I've been playing in these games for a very, very long time. I know when somebody is authentic in their word choice, especially when it comes to what they believe and when they don't. Because when you believe something or you know something to be true, it comes from within. You can feel it in every bone of that person's body. It resonates with them. You can see it because they live it every single day. Those people who are just shouting off the cuff, oh, I like Kamala. Why do I like Kamala? Well, because she's great and she's a Democrat and she's going to do so much more than Trump does. That doesn't say anything. What exactly is that person going to do? What exactly has that person done thus far? You got to remember, when you're taking into consideration this, and I'm not saying you should vote for one person or another. What I am saying, though, is you got to know what it is you're voting for. And I am shocked at how many people will just shout out and spout out nonsense that has absolutely nothing to do with the reality we're living in. Look, the only way your life is going to change and the world that you're living in is going to get better is you have to face the music of the reality that you're in. If you just imagine the power bill's not going to be there tomorrow, doesn't make it so. That bill's coming whether you like it or not. So to live in some fantasy land and think that, oh, the power bill's just not going to come today because the magic fairies and unicorn farts are going to take it away from me. If that's what you think and that's the world you live in, well, I can understand why you would think that Kamala Harris, this woman who just came out of nowhere, all of a sudden is the best thing since sliced bread. The media is working overtime to try to present this woman as something you need to vote for. Now, you know rightfully well, for those who are voting for her regardless of what it is I say or what it is I do, you know that once she gets into office, they're going to kick her ass to the back seat and tell her to shut her goddamn mouth because she doesn't know what she's talking about. Somebody else is going to come on in there and start running things. So either you already know that or you don't know that, and you have no idea what the hell it is you're voting for. Or you just don't give a shit. And I'm trying to figure out what Americans really want, because I hear so much amongst even the young folks and then the people that I poll that you want a better life. You keep talking about that you're pissed off about the economy, you're pissed off about jobs, you're pissed off about it's hard to find a good job, you're pissed off about all those things. But have you heard anything Kamala Harris has said that what she's going to do to fix those problems? So you're bitching about all these things, but then you're looking for answers. The whole purpose of voting is because you're voting for somebody who's going to answer the problems or questions you have. This woman and the vice president she picked has done one interview. How are you supposed to understand what this person thinks, what her policies are, and where she plans on taking the country if she's not even willing to talk to you? I think America's being bamboozled. And you have to start asking yourself what you really, really know. The mainstream media, and that's for all the media types out there, I don't understand how anybody can be a journalist and go work, call themselves a journalist and then go work for one of those networks. You'd be better off just getting a podcast and starting your own thing, because you're selling yourself out. And everybody's starting to realize it. The mainstream media is going to be a dead entity fairly soon, in my opinion, because nobody trusts them now. And the only people that do watch them are the low information voter already. So you're only getting the stupid class. And I'm sorry if you are a person who watches mainstream media on the regular and think that you are in the know. You're stupid if you believe that, because they're not selling you anything of any value. They're painting you a picture, spoon feeding you nonsense, telling you what the world is. You know how you find out what the world is? You take your ass off your couch, you put down the 22-ounce bag of Doritos and the 2-liter of Coca-Cola, put your freaking shoes on and get out and go look at it. Go to the areas where they say the problems are. Go down to the border that the Biden administration and Harris administration have basically told you is not a big deal. Go down there yourself. Go ask the people who live in the communities right next to the border how they're doing. Go ask the people in New York City about the social services and how it is that all the benefits that they were receiving are now slowly disappearing because you have 20 plus million illegal people all of a sudden showing up. And here's the other thing. The Democrat Party wants to take these 20 million illegal people. And I know because I work in elections here in the state that I live. And you can see this meandering into the culture now. There's a whole group of Somalian immigrants showing up in the area where I'm living, and nobody seems to think anything different. It's like, I'm not saying that people shouldn't come to this country, but I mean, where did all of these people show up all of a sudden? Nobody's scratching their heads. Nobody's asking the questions. Nobody's asking why. Look, you're paying all these taxes. You're paying for all of these people to live scot-free, and you're okay with it. But yet you're still bitching at me when I do the polling, and I'm listening, and I ask you questions, and I'm listening to what you feel, and you're still telling me that your life sucks. You're still telling me that you can't afford to pay rent. I don't know. You have no idea on how you're going to be able to afford a home, a car, a family. But yet you're still voting to make your life worse. See, that's where critical thinking and deductive reasoning come into play. See, the only way you can deduce how we got to the positions we are in is by going backwards, seeing what's actually going on, actually looking into what the media makes the claim. Look, I'm going to tell you out there right now, if you don't know this already, the mainstream media, CNN, MSNBC, CBS, all of the majority of what they are selling you is bullshit to try to push public opinion into a certain direction. And if you are a person that likes being told what to think and how to think and why to think it, well, then you just keep watching. Otherwise, I suggest you turn the goddamn boob tube off and go out and start living some life. Go start talking to people. Go down to your local committee meetings. Find out what's really going on in your community and then start taking action yourself. And if you're a person that's lazy and just doesn't want to do that, okay, there's a thing called alternative media. It's called turning off the stuff that is being spoon-fed to you and actually listening to something that may make you feel uncomfortable. Because the only reason you're feeling uncomfortable is because you have been hypnotized into thinking that all of the things that you know or think to be true, you are hypnotized into thinking that those are really true things, that's where reality truly is. And I'm here to tell you that reality is nothing of what the mainstream tells you. It's what they call manufactured consent. And what that is when they spoon feed you and try to push public opinion into a certain way. Donald Trump's a big old meanie. He did this Russia stuff. And he did these impeachments and now he's a convicted criminal. You have a media that's supposed to be unbiased, right? A mainstream media, which can own and control 93% of everything you read and watch, listen to, okay? They're supposed to be unbiased, meaning that they're supposed to present the facts as they found them out. But that's not what they're doing anymore. You go on to Rachel Maddow's show or Anderson Cooper's show, any one of these big old guys, gals, whatever you want to call them, and listen to their show. It's all hit pieces designed to make you think about politics in a specific way. That's all it's designed to do. And the problem with it is that is not even the reality, because if you go to the communities where the stuff is really going on, it's an entirely different story. You got to remember, the mainstream media are the people that told you that Donald Trump was a Russian agent. False. They tried to impeach him twice. Both didn't hold up. 5 court cases. All bullshit. And the current one that he was supposedly guilty of, I guarantee you that will get overturned. Because all they're trying to do is paint somebody as whatever it is they want to label them. Like I told you before, the Democrat Party and Kamala Harris got to the place she is because of labels. The label game that starts with the psyops or the secret CIA bullshit, which is fed through the media to try to push public opinion, and then they slap labels on it. Racist, sexist, xenophobe, this, that, you name it. That's the whole game. And the design behind this game is divide and conquer. Divide me against you, because if I'm a racist, as they claim, you're not going to want to talk to me, even though I'm not. But that's what I'm saying. The whole game is designed to put a label on something and then get you to believe it. And many of you are doing it. And for those who have undone the magic, who stopped drinking the Kool-Aid, and then started to really start looking at things yourself, because like I said in a prior video, you truly never know anything until you actually do the work yourself. You're never going to know anything unless you actually do it. Remember, they used to always say, the way you get somebody to learn something is you first teach them, then you make that person teach you back, basically tell you what you just told them, and then the third thing is you make them go do it. Why do you make them do it? Because when you do something, you actually learn how to physically do it. You actually become knowledgeable from what it is you did, because I did it, so I know what I'm doing. You just weren't told what was going on. There's a difference of being told what you believe and actually knowing what you believe. Young folks, I'm going to keep hammering on you. And there's a reason why, because when I talk, and there's a lot of older 40-year-old women that are so hung up on Kamala. Those are the Karens of the world. You can't solve everything. And there's a lot of people that no matter what, they're just going to hate Donald Trump. And I don't get it, but those are the ones that, they'll find out in the end. But you young folks, I talk to you. I recognize your pain. I see everything that you're talking about. And I'm trying to give you the things that you need so that you can make the best decision for yourself. I don't want you to go down the same road that I did and be hamstrung down these lines of bullshit for years on end. And then when you get to the end, get to the final chapter, you're not going to like the outcome. I didn't either. And that's why we're in the shit we're in. But I'm telling you, if you all start to wake up and you all start to actually recognize the bullshit being presented to you, fight back. And then once you start fighting back and you start realizing that those people don't have any control over you, you become the dangerous monster in the room. Remember, folks, Kamala. You have to say it Kamala. Fuck off. This is insanity. I've never seen people get so triggered over the silliest crap in the world. They think that they're so above you, like Kamala understands anything of what you're going through. Name one policy. That's your homework assignment. Name one policy Kamala Harris has introduced or put into play that has helped the American people abroad. Name one. She had 4 years in the VP office. She could have came up with something, draft some legislation. No, she was just hanging out like Veep, like the lady in the front, remember? I don't see what people are voting for. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm the idiot here, because, I must be, because I don't see where the attraction is. If people are attracted to stupidity, if people are attracted to bullshit, if people are attracted to nonsense, well, Kamala's your gal. But if you want results, proven track record, a person who has proven themselves to put you back in the room. Now, you can disagree with me if you want to. There's many that do disagree with me. Is this person perfect? Hell no. But when it comes down to results and getting shit done, Trump's the only person. in this election that, in my opinion, is even close to what this country needs. Now, does he have a shady past? Sure. But he's a human being. Every human being does. Kamala has a shady past too. But it's not about the shady past I'm concerned about. It's the results. What has she done? Nothing. And that's what you need to be looking at. What a person does for the job that they're asking for. Like I said, you wouldn't go into the hospital asking for the gumshoe, the guy who just got out of freaking medical school. You're not asking him to cut you open, are you? You're asking the person who's done it 1,000 times. Why? Because his experience matters. Knowing what to do and when to do it and how to do it matters. And there's no contest. I really hope America wises up. Young folks, I really want you to have the best future possible. And the only way that's ever going to happen is if I can offer to you the olive branch to say, hey, look, you take it and you go look yourself. I'm not here to tell you anything. I'm here to tell you what I know. It's up to you to do the work and discover this, because discovery is what makes you powerful, and they know it. They're hoping you don't do shit. Please, prove them wrong. All right, my friends, we got to get out there. We got to stop fighting amongst each other. We know where the battle is. We know where the fight is, and it's not between you and me. That's the trick. We've been over this before, but I'm here for you. That's my goal in the next 10 years. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be here, but whilst I'm still here, I can guarantee you this: I will leave everything better than I received it. That's just the way I'm built. So I hope to see you all out there. Young folks, keep fighting. You are the future. Just start paying attention. You're not stupid. I talk to you all on a regular basis. You're not stupid. You've just been told so many stupid things. I'd be confused too. I'm here to undo the damage that has been done. Check me out. Hope to see you all out there. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.
Trump or Kamala?
Kamala. I like her, and I'm a Democrat.
And why do you like her?
Because she will be a good female president, and I would love to have a good female president for the U.S.
And what do you think she'll do good for our country?
She'll actually help our country more than Donald Trump would do, because she is smart and she's more reliable.
And what do you think are some exact things she'd do?
She'll do lower income and lower taxes.
So she'd lower everyone's income?
Yes.
Is that a good thing?
That is a good thing.
What do you think about Donald Trump?
Donald Trump is the worst president in the whole wide world.
How come?
Because he hurt the Capitol building and he started World War III.